Biscuits and Blurays podcast, where we watch Blu-rays and the biscuit was Versace.
Versace.
That's it, you're Versace. I'm your host James, my other host Jade.
Hello.
Hello. We've had a break.
We have a much deserved break.
I think so as well.
Yeah.
I think so as well. I think we got a bit of burnout going on.
Yeah, it was just so busy on the run up to October and then the wedding, the honeymoon. We've just done a big show.
Well, yeah, exactly. Let's pan it all out. We got married. That happened. We got the honeymoon. That also happened. And then we had a show. And during the show, we got a doggo.
We did.
So, I don't know about you.
So many life events, all within a month.
And in the space of maybe 2 weeks, arguably.
No, it was like...
Okay.
It was a month.
But we were exhausted, so we're sorry that you didn't get any podcasts for 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. 2 weeks we've not done any podcasts. And today was supposed to be the Flintstones episode. But you know what? Because it's the first one back. Why not do this?
Yeah, so I was undecided. I didn't really want to do the Flintstones straight away. So I asked James to pick.
I picked three. I picked three movies that I thought... Because I wanted something a bit like... that we could watch to make fun of. Mm-hmm. And I think we've picked okay.
We?
You. Because I picked three, and this was one of them.
This is one of them. And they were all fabulously bad.
The jury's out, because the other two were Grease 2 and The Witches of Eastwick.
I like all of them. For different reasons.
But ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Showgirls episode.
Oh my goodness.
Now, this is... I bought this recently. Mm-hmm. Because I said... It came into my work. And I said, we've got Showgirls in. And you said, buy that.
Buy that. It's so bad.
Buy that straight away. And I was like, what are we talking about? Anyway, got it cheaper. It's fine. We've watched Showgirls tonight. And Showgirls, if you don't know, is a film that is... famous for being just ridiculously bad.
Yeah.
However, I don't think it's ridiculously bad.
I think there are some moments in it that are genuinely good.
I would agree.
It's not the worst film I've ever seen, like The Room. Yeah, The Room is the worst thing I've ever seen.
I don't think it's far off from The Room, though.
I know what you mean, but I feel like some of the Vegas scenes in this, in the actual show itself, doesn't feel too far away from shows maybe around at that time, some of the burlesque shows that still exist today.
Absolutely.
And I think it should be credited for that.
This came out in 1995. Do you think this film has aged well?
No.
Well, first of all, let's talk about the poster, because we spoke about it before we...
I hate this poster so much.
Now, it's not the poster that you get on the Blu-ray. Mm-hmm. They've updated that a little bit. We're talking about the poster where it's Elizabeth Berkley's face, and she just looks like one big snake.
She's just a noodle.
She's a noodle of a woman.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't like this poster?
No, she just has one leg hanging out. She's got no arms.
Yeah.
A bit of midriff, a bit of kind of that boob area. It's just a really weird poster.
Is it a sexy... Oh, well, did you read the tagline?
What?
Leave your inhibitions at the door.
Oh my.
Well, that's where I leave all my inhibitions.
At the door?
I always leave them at the door.
Hello, and then you pick them up on your way out.
I leave them there with my coat and my shoes. Coat, shoes, inhibitions. Yeah, got everything. Pat.
Oh, there you've got your keys and phone.
Oh, at least I've got my inhibitions.
At least you've got those with you.
Yeah, this reeks of 90s.
Oh, God, yeah.
And I'm kind of here for it. Mm-hmm. How many times have you seen this before?
Maybe this is maybe the second time.
Yeah.
I think I caught it on late night TV once because I was just awake and it came on.
I caught it on late night TV once. Did we watch it at the same time?
Maybe. But did you also watch it at uni with a group of people?
Yeah. I think that was the first time I watched it on late night TV, and we all stayed up to watch it. Because we'd heard, you need to watch Showgirls. Mm-hmm. You haven't seen Showgirls? It's on the list of like the worst films ever written, made / watched.
Yeah.
This has, would you care to take a guess at the Metascore on its IMDb page?
4.
No, higher. So it's in the top 30.
34.
Lower.
32.
Oh, much lower.
31. 24.
23?
Okay.
Do you think this is a 23 rated movie?
Yeah.
Okay. Because
some of the elements of it, I will say, there were bits of this I enjoyed. There's also a hell of a lot I didn't.
Well, okay. You are And I think we spoke about this before, but you were a fan of Starship Troopers.
I am a fan of Starship Troopers.
Okay. That is a movie made by Paul Verhoeven.
Okay.
He is quite famous. He's put some good stuff, some good work out there. RoboCop, Starship Troopers, Elle, Hollow Man, Basic Instinct, Total Recall. Mm-hmm. He's done movies that are considered good.
Did he do Sliver?
He did not do Sliver. No, I think that is a different director. Philip Noyce.
Ah.
As in...
Noise.
As in very noise. Yeah. But you are also a fan of the film Sliver.
Right, okay. I'm not a weirdo, but in other words, I'm about to say something that makes me sound like a weirdo.
Let's go on let the record show
I can appreciate kind of a trashy, like, sexy thriller.
Do you like a sexy thriller?
Like an erotic thriller.
An erotic thriller?
I can appreciate, because usually the women are femme fatales. They kind of use sex to get what they want.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of there in the back going, yay, Queen! Go get it! So I like films like Poison Ivy. Mm-hmm. And I think Sliver's so bad, I can't help but love it.
Sharon Stone.
But I read the book before I actually...
Oh, I didn't realise it was a book.
Watched the film.
Okay. What is it about those films that you like in particular?
Maybe it's that. I'm like, the woohoo!
It's the Go Queen
I like the
aspect.
Go Queen mentality. I think that's quite cool.
Do those films have a character that you can sort of root for, though?
A little bit more, yeah.
Does this one? Does Showgirls?
I want to, but I just can't. And I think it's because it's so badly acted.
Okay, well, let's dive in deep.
But I low-key love her because I think she's just clearly very dedicated and I can't not enjoy that.
It does have a good... And when I say good, I mean 90s cast. Mm-hmm. Elizabeth Berkley, Gina Gershon, we'd like to see, Cal MacLachlan, among other 90s people.
Yeah.
Now, who would you like to talk about first? Should we just go straight in at Berkley?
Straight in.
Berkley, Elizabeth Berkley.
She's probably the one that took the most shit after this.
She was very famous for playing Jessie in Saved by the Bell, which ran for 3 years. It's quite a good show. Mm-hmm. Had fan favourites. And she took this role to get away from that.
Yeah.
Because the role she played in that show was quite a bit of a goody two-shoes. Mm-hmm. Bit of a nice nice
Yeah,
person.
there's quite a famous scene of her being addicted to, like, caffeine tablets or something like that. Have you seen the...
I've never seen Saved by the Bell.
Have you seen the clip?
No, I don't think
so. It's the overacting that you see in that.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's amazing.
Okay. But to get away from her persona on that show... Why not? And it's not uncommon for people to do this.
Yeah, we see it a lot with like the Disney stars as well.
Yes, absolutely. Is Sabrina Carpenter doing this?
No, because she's not getting naked on stage.
Well, she's not doing
But Miley famously went the complete opposite way.
Okay.
Being all sexy. But even then, people like Daniel Radcliffe, he was like, oh yeah, I'm just going to do Equus in the West End and get full frontal on stage.
Yeah.
So they all took more adult roles. Mm-hmm. To kind of get away from that kind of squeaky clean, but that's not always worked.
And this is an example of where it's not worked.
This has not worked at all. I think she was maybe hoping to go the kind of Sharon Stone route, to maybe look a little bit more, again, sexy femme fatale. It's not worked.
When you see a performance this bad, let's face it, it's not a good performance.
No.
I don't think it's awful, but do you think Elizabeth Berkley is 100% to blame?
No.
Who do you think is?
The director, the writer.
Even the director has said, famously in an interview, he said, it's not Elizabeth Berkley's fault. I've told her to do this performance exactly like this.
Yeah.
Blame me.
But they're not going to.
They never did. No. And that fucking sucks.
Yeah. Like I said, I think a lot of it's dialogue as well. The dialogue's poor. The story writing in it's completely poor.
I do want to talk about the script separately, because it's an example of first draftitis.
Yeah.
Yeah. But Gina Gershon's in this.
Oh, complete queen.
Oh, I love it.
Which part of her?
I really like that little mole on her face. You know what I mean?
She's got a cheeky little mole.
She's got a little cheeky... She walked so Eva Mendes could run, you know what I mean?
She really did.
Really did. She was in Bound.
Oh, I see.
Have you seen Bound?
No, to know why you like that.
No. She's still doing work. She was in the Borderlands movie recently.
Oh, well, she's still picking bangers.
I think Gina Gershon's quite typically Hollywood beauty.
Yeah.
I don't think she's particularly good in this either.
No, and I feel like the storyline did her and Berkeley dirty. I feel like their characters should have done something completely different. It's called Showgirls.
Yeah.
Them two, the plot kind of dips in and out, I would have made them my complete focus of this film. I wouldn't have been delving into the fucking random side character with that dancer that's so irritating. I'd have cut all that. I'd have had it have been about those two and that rivalry.
Yeah.
And then maybe the kind of a possible romance falling under that. You don't need the side plot men or any of that. It could have been so much more interesting.
I think I agree with you. This film's quite interesting anyway. We'll get into that.
Is that because boobs?
No, it's not because of boobs. Anyway, Carl McLachlan, are you a fan?
I liked him. I think he's in Desperate Housewives.
I think he was in Desperate Housewives at one point. He was in Twin Peaks.
Yeah, I think I've seen him in a lot, I think.
Well, for those who wanted us to talk about the Flintstones, lucky you.
He's in it.
He's, we've kept it McLachlan-esque.
Yeah.
But it's Showgirls.
We just get a dodgy scene and a dodgy fringe and a dodgy sex scene.
Carl McLachlan recently played the dad in Fallout. He's the dad in Inside Out as well. So he's playing father figures, I guess.
Oh, daddy.
Oh no!
My.
Stop that. The original Paul Atreides. First of all, 1995. I'm not sure what was going on hair-wise, but Carl McLachlan's taking the brunt of it here.
He is, and do you know what? By 90 standards, it's probably fit.
I mean, sure. The problem is, Carl McLachlan in 95 doesn't look young enough to pull that hairstyle off.
Is this set in the 90s or is it set in the 80s?
I would go ahead and assume this is set in the 90s.
Because I feel like, for me, personally in the 90s, I was a sucker for curtains. A boy band guy with curtain hair.
Oh, curtains.
Oh, so sexy.
I thought you said kerns, and I was like, that's not a thing.
Wow, curtains.
Curtains. Like that guy from A1.
Yes. Oh, pure sex.
Ben from A1.
Oh, what a vibe.
Okay, it's a shame we don't video these. Here's a picture of Ben from A1. Ben from A1. 90s kids. We all did it at one point.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I think he's a bit too... But also, he's lacking charisma that Carl McLachlan usually has.
Yeah. Again, is that partly due to the writing?
Well, let's talk about the script. For one, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
What is the focus of this?
I'm guessing it's supposed to be following Nomi's... So that's a fucking stupid name.
Nomi.
That's who we're having to follow's life.
Yeah.
And it cuts in and out with really random storylines and really random people coming in. Some of the dialogue is really poor.
I said to you, there was one scene in particular that she's talking to her best friend. And it's like, oh, someone's on the phone for you. Would you like me to get it? I'll answer it. And stuff like that. And it's just quite... No one really knows what they're saying or doesn't feel what they're saying.
None of it feels like actual conversations that people would have with each other. It doesn't feel like it flows at all.
But the problem is that I have with this, and I think you should as well, this is written by the same guy who wrote Sliver and Basic Instinct.
Interestingly, Sliver's also panned.
Okay. Oh, so Sliver's not very... By the way, when we say Sliver, we're not saying Slither, which is the good James Gunn horror movie. We're saying
Sliver
with a V, because that's very difficult to say.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So that in itself was critically panned as well. It didn't help that the co-stars, Mr. Baldwin and Stone, hated each other.
They really
allegedly.
hated each other. Okay. He wrote a film called Jade. Are you aware of this?
That's also an erotic thriller, isn't it, Jade?
Yeah, well, the problem with that one is that that's directed by the same guy who directed The Exorcist, so I don't know what anyone is doing. I imagine there's a lot of crack cocaine around in the 90s. It would explain a lot.
Yeah, so clearly he had a bit of a thing about these thrillers. In Basic Instinct, people loved it.
Mm-hmm. People do love Basic Instinct.
Yeah.
What gives?
And I find Basic Instinct really gritty and grimy, but it's a genuinely good film, and I think it also helps the fact that it's acted beautifully.
Okay. Well, do you think he got lucky with Basic Instinct, and then he just kept getting work because of that?
I think people wanted him to keep remaking it, and I think there was like going to Blockbuster. People were renting these films. I mean, for example, Showgirls, even though it was critically panned, etc., it did really well on home release. People did buy this, and they did rent it.
Yeah.
What for? It's their own thing.
Well, we'll talk about this later.
But clearly there was an appetite for these kinds of films because, again, Basic Instinct did well. I'm guessing Sliver was watched on home release, as well as
What
the movies like Jade and Poison Ivy. I mean, Poison Ivy spanned loads of fucking sequels, as did Basic Instinct. That's a sequel.
This is interesting. Also Showgirls.
Yeah, so there's clearly people out there that do really like these.
The problem I think he had is he peaked quite early, this writer. His name's Joe Esterhaz. Mm-hmm. And, his second movie that he wrote was Flashdance.
Oh, wow.
So, I don't know if you've seen Flashdance.
You can clearly writing good kind of...
women, right?
Well, it's women again, but it's also like, it's dancing scenes. It's very, very sexy.
Very naughty. Is that the one where she pulls the water over her?
Yeah.
Yeah. So which one's Fame?
Fame's a school.
Okay. So which one's...
With your... Because people get confused because, like, the Jerry Halliwell video, Raining Men, like, merges those movies together. And I think a lot of people...
Don't
born around the 90s
don't
will
ask
have
me
seen that video.
Why I've seen that video so many times.
Everyone knows why you've seen that video so many times.
Plot twist is because I genuinely love that version of that song, Jerry Halliwell. It's Raining Men. And the problem is, growing up, I used to listen to that all the time. And my dad would be like, that's a weird song to be listening to a lot, son. Which is probably why he thinks the way he does. By the way, if you can hear the dog barking in the background, don't worry, it's fine. He's okay.
Yeah, he's in temporary puppy jail while we're up here.
Yeah.
He's in his crate, living life.
He's biting everything.
He's a bitey puppy. We let him out as soon as we've done the podcast.
Yeah. Showgirls is essentially a rags to riches to rags story, right?
Oh, spoilers.
It came out in 1995. If you've not seen Showgirls, and let's face it, a lot of people haven't.
And they should.
What? Do you think they should see Showgirls?
I feel like everybody should. It's a rite of passage. You all need to watch it.
It's an 18.
Yeah, it needed to be as well. I mean, the nudity is very, very in your face. Obviously, there's also a violent scene later on. That's probably where it got it from.
I would agree, but the thing... Okay, well, let's talk about... Okay, nudity is a difficult topic to discuss. And as soon as we press play on this DVD, which we own, thank you, I thought, oh, this isn't going to be a fun one to talk about. Because times have changed. Mm-hmm. This is very pre-Me Too, and stuff like this. It's male writer, male director. How do you think the females in this film come across on screen as a woman?
As a woman, I really felt for the character of Molly.
Yeah, that's her friend. Yeah,
that was awful. That was really hard to watch. Mm-hmm. And I feel like that particular scene, I asked you to fast forward it.
For those who don't know, there is a SA scene later in the movie. It's not pleasant.
It's particularly graphic. I think we was reading some behind the scenes stuff about the movie in general, and apparently that scene took 9 hours to film.
And it's only in the film for maybe 30 seconds.
I think there's ways to depict that something like that is happening because it's forwarding a certain plot point without showing us it as graphically as it did.
Yeah.
And that, as a woman to see that, it's really hard.
Absolutely.
And that could be quite triggering for people. I don't know if they really cared as much back then.
I forgot that scene was here. Mm-hmm. So putting it on, I was like, oh, Showgirls is like the worst film I've made. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah,
no.
so that was hard.
Yeah.
But I think from being in the dancing world, like myself.
Okay.
Sadly, I think there was a time when people were treated like that. And I think there could be somewhere, little pockets where that's still happening in some places.
Yeah. But how do you feel about the nudity in general? Because this is just me. I don't think there's a big song and dance about it.
What do you mean?
It's very matter of fact.
Yeah, I think it depends really what scene it is. So the ones where it's in the Vegas clubs where she's in the strip club, some of that feels like, guys, did we need all of that? Mm-hmm. Did we need to see her simulating sex up with people? We didn't need any of that. That could have all been cut out. Okay. I think the stuff when she's actually on stage in Vegas and she's got all the makeup on and the costumes, that feels more like art, like a show, and that made more sense. Yeah. I feel like it does what it says on the packaging. Really, you go to see a film that's about showgirls, it's going to show you
girls,
tits and teeth, and that's what you're going to get.
Teeth. Yeah. Which is why this film is as big a success as it is. Mm-hmm. The film bombed. Yeah. Quite famously, it really didn't do very well. Okay, so the budget was $45 million. On opening weekend, it made $8.
Yeah.
Its worldwide gross was 20.
Wow.
So that fucking sucks. However, when it came to video release, skyrocketed.
Yeah.
And we all know why.
Yeah. Let me guess, about 100 mil.
100 mil. Yeah, absolutely, it did. I think that's the poster doing the heavy lifting on that.
Maybe. And again, maybe it's because it does have this kind of connotations to the fact that people were outraged.
Mm-hmm.
So people are going to want to find out what they're outraged about.
Yeah.
I mean, the nudity will have helped a lot of it.
But do you think... Okay, well, here's a question I have for you. Were you bored watching this?
Yes.
Oh, you were?
Yeah, at certain times, yeah.
At what points?
Some of the bits in the club in the beginning, I thought, this is going on for too long. The scenes with her and that backing dancer, he weren't a backing dancer, but the guy who wanted her to learn a dance for his club.
Yeah.
All of that was filler.
Oh, absolutely.
I'd have cut all that out.
Yeah.
The scenes that were a lot more electric were the ones between her and
Gina Gershon.
Yeah, they were great.
I think they're quite good together.
They are. I mean, the dialogue's clunky and crap. They say things to each other that people just don't talk about.
Why would you say some stuff like that?
It's really weird when they're talking about being a whore or something because you're a dancer and stuff. Some of it's really random.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, okay, you could have gone into a deeper conversation about it if you wanted to, but they didn't. And it was really strange.
Do you think these two actresses know what film they're in?
Yeah.
I don't.
You don't?
No, because I think if there's a version of this somewhere where the actors are in on the joke. It's like, oh, this script isn't very good. Let's just wing it. Let's just have fun with it.
Oh, I thought that they thought they were in an erotic thriller.
Oh, I think
that's what they thought.
I think that's what they thought. But if it had any wits about them at all, they'd have gone, this script is wank. This needs an edit. And also, who talks like this? It could have gone... Have you seen the cut of Shark Attack 3?
No, I haven't.
There's a very famous instance in that where John Barrowman says a line, and he doesn't know he's being filmed when he says it, but he makes a joke to this woman. Google it if you know what I mean. That's what this is missing. A bit of fun from the actors.
Okay, so you wanted them to really go for it, not play it so seriously.
Absolutely, I did. Yeah. But the problem is, I think Berkeley is too focused on doing... like
a bit of a tough girl thing, which I don't feel like she does particularly well. She's kind of... she's very William Shatner. She's all over the place.
I'm railing. She flails a lot.
Yeah. She overacts in so much of this. Again, the director's directed her that way, but watch her eating in the beginning when Molly buys her a takeaway. Yeah. No one slams their chips around like that.
I don't like it when people eat chips in movies. Have you seen the first Spider-Man? Yeah. Tobey Maguire's just throwing them back. It's really upsetting.
Controversial.
Yeah.
But nobody slaps their drink about like that. She's just so weird.
The problem I have as well is she's quite fast. All of her movement is fast.
Yeah.
Slow down. Take a beat.
And she jumps to the offensive all the time as well. I mean, sometimes she has every right to, because especially the men, for example.
Yeah.
They're very sexist. They make a lot of sexual passes, and some of it's absolutely vile.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. And she's going to be on her guard.
Uh-huh.
But some of it is like, really, mate?
Well, this all takes place in the city of vice and sin.
Mm-hmm.
That would be fabulous Las Vegas. Nevada. We've never been to Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I've always wanted to go to Vegas.
You have to get on a plane to go to Vegas.
This is a problem. Again, bringing up I hate flying. Thank you, babe. But I think it's shot well.
Oh yeah, Vegas looks great.
It really does.
Yeah.
There's some example. Well, there's a lot of casinos that they filmed in, and this is just a few of them. Caesar's Palace, one of the most famous ones. Cheetah's Topless Club, that is what it is. The Venetian, Las Vegas Boulevard, Carson City. Yeah, that's there. A swimming pool in Encino. It's using its budget well.
Yeah, is that the swimming pool in relation to the dolphin sex scene that we get?
Okay, well, let's talk about that.
I think it's probably one of the most famous sex scenes of all time,
but
for being so bad.
I think she's selling it. However, no one does that.
If anyone's got that kind of core strength to be flailing around like that,
yeah.
More credit to you.
Well, first of all, this ties in. I think the choreography in this film, in general, is fantastic.
But not in that scene, sorry.
Well, it's not... Yeah. However, because it's mirrored in a scene that happens earlier in the film,
which is also bad.
It's very bad, but she's doing the same thing. Mm-hmm. She's doing the flails. She flails like Kermit.
Yeah.
You know when Kermit gets angry and anxious?
Yeah.
But she flails when she's giving Carl McLachlan a lap dance.
His McLachlan.
Yeah. She's McLachlan and his Kyle, yeah, absolutely. But then later on, when they do have the pool scene, she does it again because he knows he likes it.
I don't know, but I don't know how anybody could be getting any pleasure from that, because she's bobbing up and down, going in and out of the water. She's got a fountain that's also spraying on her face. That shit probably hits with some sort of force
She's taking on so much liquid.
Oh my God. It's like you're bobbing up and down the water like you're bobbing for apples.
And what I do like
is... there's too much going on.
It looks like she's drowning. But also, did you catch the look on Carl McLachlan's face? Where he's like holding on to her for dear life, and he's getting zero pleasure out of it.
No.
Oh, why?
I was too busy, absolutely shocked, thinking this woman's got some abs.
Seem to be believed.
I mean, even though she's in a pool and she's getting some assistance, she does it in an earlier scene, and I was like, fucking hell, mate.
Yeah. There's a lot of that, though.
Impressed, but I don't see what you're getting out of that. But if you are getting something, go, girl.
Go, yeah, off you pop.
One thing I will say about Berkeley is I think all the way through this, she looks gorgeous.
Are you talking makeup or...?
Makeup. She looks fabulous.
Okay.
I think she looks beautiful all the way through this film.
You mentioned halfway through her eye makeup was always...
Oh, yeah, her eyes always really pop. Her nails are trashy as fuck.
Well, it's Vegas.
Which I love, it matches in, and some of her clothes are a bit, mate, why are you walking around like that? You got your nips half out, but you do you, boo.
Yeah.
But I thought her makeup and her hair looked fabulous all the way through this.
I think the makeup in general, though, for all the girls, not just her, Gershon's never looked better.
Oh, she looks great as well.
All of them do.
She has some great costumes as well.
Yeah.
She has this all-in-one
when they wear them.
Yeah, she's got this kind of all-in-one catsuit thing that she came in wearing. I was like, oh, fuck, I want that. Yeah,
that was quite nice, wasn't it? Do you think the women look so good and the men just don't?
The men are boring.
Yeah.
All of them just wear dark colours, really, other than the choreographer. Mm-hmm. They're boring for me.
Yeah. Some weird lines in this.
Yeah, all the men in this are boring for me. You could have cut all of them out.
I'd argue that all men are boring, full stop.
That's a lie. No, you're not.
Okay, one exception.
No, that's not true. Not all men are boring.
I would argue that most of them are.
They're written in this in a boring way.
Yeah. Stereotypical way?
Maybe a little bit. It's like even the guys that they try and make out to be good, maybe... I think they was trying to make that dancer come across as being good. I still don't remember his name.
Yeah.
But ultimately, he wanted to put her in an umbrage written. Mm-hmm. And he kind of demanded sex in return, and it's like it's stupid.
It's seedy.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
And she's supposed to be liking this person for what reason exactly? Mm-hmm. If anyone had said that to me, like I wrote you this part, but I need it in exchange for sex, I wouldn't be coming to your fucking show.
Yeah.
I'd be blocking your number.
She goes to his show.
Goes to his show and then she kisses him at the end.
But he's booed off stage.
And he shook because his number was shit.
Yeah, it wasn't very good.
No.
I do. The scenes I find interesting in this, apart from the pool scene, are the choreography numbers.
Oh, the show number.
Not so much the actual show numbers themselves. Mm-hmm. You know, when the sets and the costumes and stuff. It's literally when they're just practicing dancing. Mm-hmm. I find that very interesting.
Very chorus line.
And I love a chorus line. Yeah, I think that's step 2, 1, 2.
Is it because you were in it?
I was in a chorus line actually. I was right at the back and I didn't make it.
Aww.
Which, by the way, if you're in an amateur production of that, you need to be one of the main lineup, because if you're not, you're in the start and the end. And that's some bullshit. Anyway, but I do like all that choreography. I find it interesting. Where there's a scene where Elizabeth Berkley's character, I really forget, Nomi?
Nomi.
Knowing me?
Knowing you.
Showgirls. But it's her first rehearsal. And she's like, no, and the choreographer's like, you just stand and watch it, and then the dancers do the dance, and then it's literally right, Nomi, you go.
Mm-hmm. You'll jump in, yeah.
And she does it. Now, I know Elizabeth Berkley knows that choreo. She probably still does to this day.
Yeah.
However, there are dancers that are that good.
Oh yeah, that you can just name them several moves, like I need you to do this dance move and this, and this, mm-hmm. and they can just do it as a sequence.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Their trained dancers are pretty
good, aren't they?
Pretty good, yeah.
I also liked when this film went a bit Chicago, where it's a bit it's a rags to riches story, but they're fucking up each other. It goes a bit I, Tonya.
Yeah, and that's what I wanted this film to be.
Yeah.
I wanted it to be about those two. Because there was so much more interest. You could have had the friend there that's trying to pull her back a little bit from that life. You could have had a man trying to get his way in, and they maybe fight over him a bit. But I don't want to see women fighting over men. I want to see them fight for that role.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's way more interesting.
There's an instance where an accident happens on stage. That's an accident?
Yeah.
I loved all that.
You love that kind of drama, don't you?
I like that high drama. It's like, oh, she must have fallen. Something fell off the costume.
Yeah, for a number about Showgirls, I wanted more of the Showgirls and the backstage stuff, the on-stage stuff.
Yeah.
I didn't want to be seeing the weird, shady bollocks at the strip club or...
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Or the stuff at the end.
Or the stuff with the backing dancer. It's I didn't want any of that.
Do you think it's a morality tale of careful what you wish for?
A little bit. She got everything she wanted.
And it's fucking shit.
But it was so fleeting as well.
At that point, I think the film is rushing to end.
Yeah, it's trying to find a way to end.
Yeah, it's like she's famous now, and then this needs to happen, and this needs to happen. It's all consequence.
But either way, that happened. The essay happened to her friend. She was still offered the chance to be heading this casino.
Yeah,
they knew her past. They said you can continue doing it. You can still have your dreams. She's the one who decides to go. You know what? No, I'm going to get some justice for my friend because she isn't going to get any. And then she fucks off.
Well, I will say as well that I most of the film I forgot that she didn't have an identity of sorts, or that we didn't know her identity.
Yeah, I'd forgotten.
And then there's a scene later on where Kyle MacLachlan is just like, "I know everything about you," and then I was just like, "Okay,
yeah, your name is Polly.
Your name is Polly, and your parents were murdered or killed themselves, and you're on the run, and you've been soliciting." And you've done armed robbery and stuff. It's like,
yeah, because in effect he blackmails her into not saying anything.
Yeah, not
because
speaking up.
He knows all of her past.
And then it goes into a bit of a Quentin Tarantino revenge tale.
Yes, it didn't quite know what it was doing.
But it did that too late, and it also did that for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
It's like, I've done this now.
She was a complete vibe in that scene, though. I mean, to come to...
Not costume or hair-wise in that one.
Not costume or hair-wise, but to beat up an abuser like that.
Yeah.
In a fabulous way.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, topless, I'm here for that.
Credit to you. Well done, love.
You get that revenge.
Yeah, why not? What I do like as well is that this is sort of bookended with the start and the finish. At the start, there's a guy that picks her up and drops her off, but then he steals her stuff. And at the end, he picks her up again as she's leaving. And I just think that's such a... I just imagine these two just doing that for the rest of their lives.
That's it. He's always picking her up.
Yeah, picks her up, steals the stuff, and then, like, they just keep meeting. It's like, stop stealing my stuff!
Stop stealing my fucking bag.
He was the only nice guy in the movie.
He wasn't, though, because he stole her stuff.
Oh, yeah.
He took her to Vegas because he wanted something from her.
He was going to Vegas?
You know what he wanted in return, though. She wasn't going to give it him in return.
Yeah.
So... he took her back.
This is... Okay, so you looked up a fact about this, where the director said he wanted to do like an old MGM...
musical.
So what's this?
I don't know, because it isn't. Even remotely.
I can't even think what MGM musicals he's mistook. Singing in the Rain, maybe?
Absolutely. Those films are very similar.
If you, yeah. Well,
Gene Kelly would have done a film like this.
Debbie Reynolds getting her tits out. Yeah, why not? She would have done as well.
No, she wouldn't. No, she's an absolute angel.
Oh, we love Debbie Reynolds here.
Oh, Singing in the Rain is one of my favourite films.
But how I don't understand... I agree. But also, I don't understand how you could watch a film like Singing in the Rain and then direct Showgirls.
But he didn't.
I just don't get it.
He watched Singing in the Rain and thought, I'm going to do my own. Here we go.
Yeah. From the director of RoboCop, Starship Troopers. Why do you think this is as bad as it is?
I think, again, it's due to script.
Yeah.
I think some of the level of nudity wasn't required.
No.
And I think it put it into like a bit of a seedy... I think it put like a really seedy light on it. It was, I think, Basic Instinct, even though it's gritty and there's nudity in that, it never seems... People always see it as being a thriller. I don't know if they wanted the same with this or not. But it doesn't come across that way.
No.
And also, I'm sorry, I think parts of it are boring.
Yeah.
And to say that it's got all this nudity, it's not very erotic.
I don't think that it was ever supposed to be erotic.
I think it was.
Do you think so?
I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. But it didn't. But I think they could have added that if the two main ladies had this rivalry and there was like a sexual undertone underneath. I think they could really have jumped on that a bit more. Because I thought their scenes were the only things that felt like that. Well, sorry, the only scenes that felt like there was any chemistry there.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'd have loved to have seen more of them.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in this. It's trying to do too much. Is it saying anything?
I'm trying to think what it would be saying.
It's like, don't go to Vegas.
I can't think. There's a lot going in on this, and it just feels like it's all been patched together.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the first time. Well, it swept. You know the Razzies.
Yeah.
Absolutely swept them that year, and that's unheard of. When the film swept the 16th annual Razzie Awards, Paul Verhoeven turned up in person to accept Worst Director and Worst Picture. He was the first director to ever turn up to collect his award.
Go on, sir.
Go on. I like it when people do that.
Own your bad problems. Own your mistakes. I like that.
Yeah. Carl McLachlan denied rumours that he walked out of the premiere. And then he said, I sat there and suffered for the whole 2 hours. But you've read the script.
That's what I don't understand. I mean, some of the lines that he says to Berkeley before they're seen in the pool are absolutely shocking.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And
it's like, hold on. You read this, didn't you, sir? You uttered those lines. What else did you think you were in?
Yeah. I just find that so weird that you can... Like, obviously you don't know what the vision is until you see it on the screen, I guess.
Yeah, but you can still read a script and have a bit of an idea of where
it's
going.
Yeah, absolutely. He probably watched RoboCop. He was like, I'm going to be in
a film like this.
I'm going to be in RoboCop. Yeah. Elizabeth Berkley was dropped by her agent after this film was released.
I'm unsurprised, and I think it's really sad.
Do you think that? I don't think that's fair.
No, wasn't a lot of people not taking her calls as well around that time? She struggled.
Yeah, she wasn't out of work.
Yeah.
We should stress that. However, the work she got wasn't the jumping off point that she wanted it to be. Which is weird. I'd hire her.
I think she maybe thought it was going to launch her into Sharon Stone kind of status, and it just didn't.
Does this happen anymore? Does anyone have a big a jumping off thing and it just completely fails and you don't see them for a while?
I'm trying to think who it's happened to. I think there are some stars, I think, that have tried to do some big franchises, have tried to do some big things, and it hasn't really taken off as much, but they're still kind of famous. I can't think of anyone who has done something like this. They've been completely fucked over for it.
Who's the guy who played John Carter that time?
I can't even remember.
Yeah, exactly. He's one. Mickey Rourke? Does he work anymore?
No idea.
I don't know. Rihanna, is she acting anymore?
She's had a baby, hasn't she? She's also the face of Fenty, so she makes a lot of money.
Fair dues. Okay, this is an interesting fact. I think you might appreciate this.
Okay.
Angelina Jolie, Vanessa Marcel, Denise Richards and Charlize Theron auditioned for the part of Nomi Malone. However, I've missed her name out for a particular reason. Denise Richards would go on to work with Verhoeven in Starship Troopers.
Oh, wow. Were any of those ladies dancers?
I think probably Charlize Theron is. I don't know who Vanessa Marcel is.
Because I'm thinking of the acting calibre of some of those ladies.
Yeah. Can you imagine how their career would have gone, though?
If they'd have done this?
If they'd have done this. The same way, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pamela Anderson is the name I missed out on that one.
Okay.
She auditioned for the role. Pamela Anderson, at the minute, has literally just dropped a trailer for a film called The Last Showgirl.
Okay.
Apparently, and this is what people are saying, early talks is that it's Oscar worthy.
I love that.
From Pamela Anderson.
Why would you be so surprised?
I'm not surprised. I'm happy for her. A seasoned showgirl must plan for her future when her show abruptly closes after a 30-year run. And people are genuinely talking.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm kind of not surprised because I watched her documentary and she comes across really well in it.
Yeah, she's quite a nice lady.
She comes across as that really thoughtful and completely away from the whole Baywatch stuff, which I thought was really good. And it showed her, I think she was in Chicago for a little bit, playing Roxy. Mm-hmm. She's not the strongest singer, but she was really, really good.
Okay.
And I thought, you know what, I'd love to see her doing more, because she did a sexy cop thriller, didn't she?
Barbed Wire?
And that didn't do very well. She looked beautiful.
I've seen that cover. We've got it at work.
Oh, the gents of the 80s remember that cover.
Well, yeah.
But she looked stunning.
Yeah.
But it just wasn't good.
I just find it weird that she auditioned for it and didn't get it, and now she's Oscar talk. Meanwhile, Elizabeth Berkley's...
Hasn't she done stage shows, though? I think she's still working.
Elizabeth Berkley?
Yeah. And her star's never really felt like it's gone to the same heights as she was when she did Saved by the Bell.
I think she'll always be famous for this, though.
Yeah, I think this is something that will always follow her, no matter what she does.
She had a... Well, it's good that like Saved by the Bell came back for a little bit. She appeared in New Girl at some point. She was in the Donnie Darko sequel. It's not took off for her. I'll see if she's done any theatre work. I thought she had different coloured eyes. I was looking at her eyes and it doesn't say anything about this.
Truth be told, for me, Saved by the Bell wasn't something I used to watch a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But for the bits I had seen, I didn't think too much to it with her own acting.
Yeah. Good things have come off the back of it, though.
Mm-hmm.
In 2006, Elizabeth Berkley founded a self-help group for young girls called Ask Elizabeth.
Okay.
In which she helps girls discuss problems and ask questions to each other, which they would usually feel uncomfortable sharing with others.
That's really good.
I think she's took this experience, and she never felt uncomfortable on set, apparently.
Like, she absolutely owns those nude scenes, because she goes full frontal in this.
I think that's the best way to do it, isn't it? Is to just go, right, I'm here, this is exactly what I'm doing. She owns it.
Yeah.
Her commitment is through the roof.
Yeah.
Actually, getting great reviews for her performance as Bonnie in an off-Broadway production of Hurly Burly in New York.
Yes, I think she was also the host of a dance, like a dance thing as well.
Mm-hmm.
So she has done other things.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like, again, she's really gone to those heights that I think she could have done. Maybe she'd have picked something different.
Yes, absolutely. My last bit of trivia for this, and I think this is quite interesting. None of the women ever felt uncomfortable. The only time they ever did was when the chimps were running around, because the chimps in the backstage scene wouldn't stop staring at their boobies. Yeah,
I can imagine. It's like when people have sex in front of their pets and they don't know the pets are in the room. You feel dirty and wrong.
And the pets are just watching, like, I've seen everything.
It feels wrong. Even like when we were like kissy in front of the dog, you're like, he's watching.
The horse is here.
It's like, I can't do it. So I think it's probably the same kind of...
Same vibe.
Okay, kind of vibe, yeah. It's about when people say like they're on holiday or something and they're making out in bed or something and they look out the window and there's a bird staring at them. They have to close the curtains. Like, no.
It's like the seagulls, yeah.
Unless you're into that.
Maybe you are. Maybe somewhere you are being looked at by a duck. A duck is looking in your direction. I read that.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Do you know what I mean? I don't think there's not one actively looking at us, but there's a duck somewhere with its head poised in our direction.
Wow.
Is all I'm saying. And they can see through walls.
Right, there's nightmares tonight.
Fun fact. If you wanted fun facts about ducks today, come on. Do you think Showgirls is better than Space Jam?
No.
It isn't, is it?
It really isn't.
And I'd forgive it if it was more fun.
And it's not. It's just not fun.
It's just not fun. It's really not fun.
No, it's not.
I don't think it's laughably bad like The Room is.
No, some of the dialogue was. We were like, wow.
Well, some of the lines are fucking weird.
I think it's not as... Some of the scenes, like I said, when they're actually in the show in Vegas,
yeah,
I think are shot well.
Okay.
And I did do some research as well. Some of I suppose because it's not a burlesque show, but there are shows around in Vegas that maybe aren't quite so 80s with their choreography.
Are you talking about Blue Man Group?
No.
Okay.
that do things like this, so it's not completely away.
Okay.
Apparently, there's some gents that do penis tricks with like penis magic tricks, which I need to see.
What do you mean?
In Vegas, they do magic tricks with their penis.
What do you mean?
Maybe I can't say all this.
Okay.
I'm just telling you anyway.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, they do magic tricks with their penises. I don't know what they do.
Like it's getting bigger. Ooh.
I don't know, but I was like, oh my god.
Okay, good. Yeah, it's no fun, this film, but it needs to be watched if it's not to be repeated.
Yeah.
There we go.
I would say watch it, but fast forward the bit towards the end. You'll know which bit when it's happening.
In fact, just turn it off after the pool scene. Nothing good happens after that.
Yeah, it's boring after that, but it's a bit boring before that. But no.
Yeah.
But yeah, turn it off.
You know what? Actually, don't watch it.
I'll watch it till she's done her first performance as a showgirl in the fancy club.
Yeah.
Then
She appears from the floor and you went,
oh, you lava goddess.
yeah.
Loved it.
Yeah, it's not better than Space Jam. It is what it is. Welcome back to the Biscuits and Blurays podcast.
What a movie.
We could have watched the Flintstones this whole time.
We could, but instead James wants to watch this.
I didn't want to watch this.
Oh, yes.
I picked 2 other films, and you picked this one.
The husband doth protest a little bit too greatly there.
The husband dothn't.
Dothn't.
Yeah. So we've watched Showgirls and we've done that on the podcast, and I need a shower or something. I feel clean.
Shall I flash dance? Shall we?
On this chair. Listen. Oh wait, have you fixed this chair?
No.
Oh,
Yeah,
there we go.
so yes, I'm handy with some tools.
I did.
Anyone should see my nails. I don't do any sort of handiwork. I'm pathetic.
You've got
doing
the softest
anything like
hands. You've never
that.
done that. Hard day's
How
work in your
dare
life.
you? Your
I
hands
said what I
are the
said.
softest.
What is it next week? Oh, it's time to start defying gravity.
It's Wicked.
Now, because we're watching Wicked on the Friday, the episode won't drop until Saturday. I hope that's okay.
Yeah, because it is a long film, guys.
It's a long film. We're catching it quite early, I think.
We're catching it early, but it is still a long fucking movie.
There's going to be a lot. There's going to be.
I got 3 fingers in then.
Yeah, but that really hurt because you cut my lip. There's going to be a lot to talk about on that one because we've made some mistakes in our trailer talk.
Yes, and they were kindly pointed out
by someone who was very, very nice and wasn't rude at all. They were very rude.
Yeah, it's one of those things. I think Wicked we're probably going to have. People are very particular about the source material, particular about the musical.
Yeah, because it's very popular.
I can't even. Fans gatekeeping are the absolute worst.
Okay. Well, here we are doing that also, probably. Mm-hmm. But, thanks for tuning in, guys. It's good to be back doing this.
Mm-hmm.
I've missed it. I've not missed editing, though. This is going to be a liner. But, yay!
Yay!
Wicked. Next week. See you next week. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Whoop.